Okay, so let's continue our discussion. In the previous video, we discussed maximin strategy, which is about getting the best out of the worst, which is particularly useful if the person wants to avoid maximum damage or maximum penalty. In this video, we will have another way of analyzing simultaneous games, which is the Nash Equilibrium. A Nash Equilibrium is a strategy for each player such that each player's action is the best response to the other player's action. In other words, the Nash equilibrium analysis is by reaction. We will think, how will this player react should the other player make this particular decision? Each player is using his best response in the game, so switching into another strategy would result into a lower payoff. In other words, no player can reach a better decision or better outcome by changing strategies. So, as mentioned earlier, the analysis is by reaction. We ask, what should the player do in case the other player has already made decision? So, this solution was formed by John Forbes Nash in his theories concerning economics, and this has won Nobel Prize in 1994. If you watch the movie A Beautiful Mind, then that is his life story. Now let's analyze the working on a project game using Nash Equilibrium. Recall that the working on a project game has this normal form. Now, we analyze this game based on reaction. So let's say that we are the role player, and suppose that the column player already made the decision of working hard. So that means if the column player decides to work hard, then the row player will get 2 or 3, depending on whether the row player decides to work hard or take it easy. So, as the row player, if the column player already made the decision of working hard, as the row player, we will take it easy. So, we will underline 3 because this one is a better response compared to working hard, which only gives 2. Next, suppose that the column player already made the decision of taking it easy, then as the row player, we will get 0 or 1. Between these two, the better response is 1. So we will underline this one. So we are done analyzing the responses of the row player. This time, we will analyze the responses of the column player. Now suppose that the row player already made the decision of working hard. Then as the column player, we will get either 2 or 3. Now, if the row player decides to work hard, as a response, we should take it easy because taking it easy will give 3 compared to working hard, which gives only 2. So we will underline this 3. Okay, next. If the role player decides to take it easy, then as the column player, we will get either 0 or 1. So the better response is to take it easy. So we will underline this number. Now notice that this cell has 2 underlines. So this means that the Nash equilibrium is take it easy, comma, take it easy. Because these 2 correspond to the best responses of the row and the column player. So in this case, the Nash equilibrium is take it easy, comma, take it easy. Let's try another example. This time, let's analyze the Battle of Sexes game. Recall that in the Battle of Sexes game, there is no max-min solution. This time, let's analyze the game using Nash equilibrium. Now, suppose that the wife has made the decision of watching sports. Then, as the role player, husband, we get either 2 or 0. The better response here is to watch sports program. So let's underline this number 2. Next, suppose that the wife already made the decision of watching TV series. As the role player, we will get either 0 or 1. Now between these two, the better response is 1. So we will underline this number. So now we are done analyzing the responses of the role player. This time, we will analyze the responses of the column player. Suppose that the husband already made the decision to watch the sports program. As the column player, we either get 1 or 0. Between these two, the better response is 1. So we will underline this number. Next, if the husband decides to watch TV series, then as the column player, we either get 0 or 2. Between these two, the better response is 2. So we will underline this number. So in this case, we have two Nash equilibria. The Nash equilibria are sports, sports, and TV series, TV series. So in this analysis, we see that um, as a good spouse, we have to support our better half. If the husband decides to watch the sports program, the wife must support the husband. Or if the wife decides to watch the TV series, the husband must agree to watch the TV series in order to have better happiness or satisfaction level. Now, as a closing, let's try to analyze the prisoner's dilemma game using Nash equilibrium. So, suppose that the role player is player 1 and player 2 has made the decision of confess. So, as the role player, we either get negative 10 or negative 25. Between these two, the better response is negative 10. So we underline negative 10. Now suppose that the column player already made the decision of remaining silent. Then as the role player, we will get either negative 1 or negative 3. The better response is negative 1. So we will underline negative 1. Now we are done analyzing the responses of player 1. This time, let's analyze the responses of player 2. If player 1 decides to confess, then the column player will either get negative 10 or negative 25. Between these two, the better response is negative 10. So we underline negative 10. If player 1 decides to remain silent, player 2 will get either negative 1 or negative 3. The better response between the two is negative 1. So we will underline negative 1 in this case. So now we are done analyzing player 2. So in this case, the Nash equilibrium is confess, confess with a payoff of negative 10, comma, negative 10. So this ends the discussion on Nash equilibrium. So if you were in a situation, at what point will you use Maximin's solution and at what point will you use Nash equilibrium? Please comment below for your answers. Thank you.